Hi, welcome back. This is Sanjay Kumar Verma from Unikaksha. So in the earlier session, we have already discussed how to install the Linux server, how to assign the IP address, how to assign the file system, and we have already discussed about of the UGO permission. So now, today, we are going to discuss very interesting thing. That means how to create a partition after the installation, right? That means when you are going to attach another disk with your server, obviously you want to divide of your disk into different volumes, different partitions. So how to do it, right? So today we will focus off on it. Now let's get started. So I have a rel server, so I'm going to jump on my rel server. Let's see. Yeah, this is my rel server, so I'm going to log in with this. I'm supplying the credentials. Please wait. These are some another machine where I use in different trainings. Yeah, now you can see my machine is ready. So let me open my terminal. Yeah, this is my terminal. So guys, I'm going to hit the LSBL. Okay, so I want to see how many block devices are attached with my machine. So currently you can see this is my only single block devices, that is SDA, and where I have a different partitions, right? So it's a recommended in the production environment. You have to store of your data with another disk or additional disk. In any case, your OS disk is going to crash. Might be you are not able to retain of your data. So right now this is my virtual environment. This virtual machine is running on VMware workstation. So this is my rel server. So in this machine on the fly, I will add another disk. So what to do? You have to click on VM and click on settings. Yeah, and you can choose the disk as per your choice. So I'm going to attach another disk. For the lab purpose, only 5 GB 10 GB is sufficient for us. So you can define the space as per your choice. No one will stop you. I'm getting 10 GB space and click next and then OK. Okay. Again, I'm going to run off this command. Please list all the block devices. So you can see I have a 10 GB block device. Correct. So this is my first disk. Okay. So again, my friends, when I will show you, let me increase the size of this terminal. So there are different way for creating the partition. You can create the partition using of the parted. You can create the partition using of the fdisk. So fdisk is much more familiar. That means those candidates belongs from Windows background. So fdisk also work there, and fdisk also work in Linux environment. So when I will hit the fdisk -l, so you can see using of the fdisk, you can list of all the disk and partitions. So this is my first disk, that is SDA, and this is my another disk, SDB. The size of this disk is 10 GB, and right now I don't have any partition on the second disk, correct? And you can see there are multiple partition on my SDA. That means it's showing 7 partitions, correct? And you can see this is the star, right? This is very important. That means star indicate this is the boot partition. That means where my Linux kernel is available. So in any case, this partition is going to crash. Your machine will not up, right? And one more thing, my dear friend. So now you can see the disk label type, that is DOS, right? Disk operating system. So actually, we have a different type of partition table disk label type. One is DOS, or you can say MBR base, and another is GPT base, right? Because which machine support the firmware as a BIOS, that means by default you will get the MBR table, or you can say DOS disk label. And when your machine firmware support UEFI, that means by default you will get the GPT. So not a problem, because this virtual machine is running on VMware, And so by default VMware have a BIOS based firmware. That's why we are getting the DOS partition table. Otherwise, by default, when you are going to deploy of your Linux server on your bare metal, so by default it will support of the UEFI when you have a new hardware, correct? So things should be clear. So now I want to create a partition on another disk. So app disk, any point of time you can take the help -help when you are not aware about this. It will show you all the detail, right? So you can take the help what you want to do. So app disk, I want to perform all the task on second disk, that is my SDB, right? Okay. So now press M for help. Okay. Read the instruction. A, toggle for the flags. B, edit BCD, right? Generic. So my dear friend, I am much more interested in this flag. I want to create a new partition, right? If you want to change the partition table, you can do it. If you want to change the partition type, I will show you how to change the partition type, right? If you want to save the partition table, you have to press W. If you want to quit, you have to press Q, right? So we have to press N. Yeah. So basically there are two types of partition are available in DOS disk partition table. One is primary, another is extended. So right now I no need to create a primary partition. Why? Because we need a primary partition only where my primary or operating system is available. Operating system always would be available in the primary partition, right? So I no need to create a primary partition because OS is already available. So that means maximum you can create 4 partitions that are all free. So what to do? Always use the conventions. Machine will give you the warning and each and everything. So we have to create an extended, then we have to press E, right? And define the partition number. I said 1. Okay, right? So first sector is going to start with this value and it will end up. So press the enter. I want to create an extended partition of my entire disk, right? Obviously, now you can see created a new partition 1 type extended 10 GB available. Then what to do? We have to update the partition table. So we have to press the right W. Okay. Again, we have to hit the fdisk-len. Please list all the partitions. So you can see this is my extended partition. So can I store some data in this partition? Obviously no, because inside the extended partition you have to create a logical volume, and when you have a MBR partition table, so obviously maximum you can create up to 15 volume, but inside a GPT you can create multiple partitions, more than 15, right? So now see it, fdisk, let me do the clear of this screen, dab sdb, okay, press N. I am creating another partition, right? Assign the size. Please, this partition should be a 2 GB, right? Okay, very good. Again, I am creating another partition on the same disk. Okay, press N for new. Assign the size. Plus, this time it should be 3 GB. You can assign the size in KB, MB, GB, Tera, Peta, right? W. Okay. fdisk /dev sdb. Sorry, typo error. Yeah. fdisk-l. Now you can see there are 2 partitions are available. So friends, let me explain it. This is the name of the partition, right? The sector is going to start from this size and it will going to end up of this, right? And the size is 2 GB, and this is the partition ID. So these are normal partitions. That's why we have a partition ID 83 and these are Linux, correct? So my dear friend, can we store the data in this volume? No, it's a don't work like that Windows. For example, when you are creating partition in Windows, obviously you will do the format command and you can store the data, but you can't store data like that. First of all, you have to assign the file system. How will you find out this volume have a file system or not? Right? I'm going to hit the lsblk. How will you verify? Might be you have some data in this volume. Already you have some data and your boss has told me, please assign the file system. How will you make sure? Very simple, my dear friend, we have a command blkid. So friend, now you can see which volume of partitions are already formatted. By default, they have a one unique ID and it will show you the file system. By default, RHEL 8 have a XFS file system. I have these volumes, but these volumes don't have the file system. So how to assign the file system? Very simple. mkfs, press the tab. There are so many file systems. ext2, ext3, ms-dos, xfs, whatever. So I am interested with the ext4. Right? And your volume name, dev sdb 5. Okay. And now for another volume, I'm going to assign the different file system, like that is XFS. You can do it. No one will stop you. Very good. Again, hit the BLK ID. You can see this volume have a ext4 partition file system and this volume will have a XFS file system. Okay. Like that, you can assign the file system. Obviously, if you want to access of this partition, so what to do? We have to create a mount point, right? So mkdir, like I am creating a data. This is already available, no problem. mkdir / uni kaksha. Yeah, and let me create another mount point, like is digital. Okay, so what to do? How to mount the partition? Mount your partition name, dev sdb 5 and your mount point, that is unikaksha. Okay, and again same thing, I'm going to mount with my different volume, that is digital. Okay, then now how will I verify volumes are mounted or not? df-ht. So friends, you can see dev sdb6 is available with mounted with digital and dev sdb5 mounted with unikaksha. So now I want to access these partitions and I want to put up some data, right? So obviously I will access of this folder right now. Touch, I'm creating some blank file, sanjay.txt here. Wow, I'm copying some file in the current directory. Right, we have some file. Perfect. Same like that, I am going to access of the unikaksha folder, right? And now I am creating some file, touch unikaksha.txt do the L. Perfect. Okay. So my dear friend, one more thing. When you are working in the test environment, right? Test environment, always restart off your machine and check out it's working perfectly or not, right? And make sure when you have attached of your disk in the real production servers with your live server, please don't reboot of your live server without permission of your senior manager, right? Reboot is not allowed in the production environment without any permission, correct? But now I want to restart of this service or this machine. Why? Because I want to show you my after the creation of the partition, after assigning of the file system, your machine is working successfully or not. So I'm going to hit the reboot. So now you can see machine is going to restart. Wow. Please wait. Machine should be up. Yes. So friends, my machine is up. Let me do the login from my root credentials. Perfect. Okay. Again, now my machine is successfully up. That means I have created all the tasks successfully. LSBLK. My all volumes are available after the reboot. And let me check now my volumes. Oh my god. Where is the digital and Unikaksha? Actually, my dear friends, when we have mounted our volumes, that was temporary mounting, right? Everything is available, right? So when I will show you the digital folder, right? The folder is available, but data is not available. Actually, data is not be stored inside the folder. Data actually is going to store on the volume, right? So this is the temporary mounting. Again, you can do the mount like dav sdb 5 with digital, right? Again, same like that, you can mount of your another volume sdb 6 with Unikaksha, right? When again I will hit the df-h. So now you can see data is available, right? But when my server is going to restart, it will automatically deattach. So what to do? So ethically we have to do the permanent mounting, right? So when you mount off your volume permanently, so you have to put up the entry inside the vim.c fstf file. This is the file system table file where you can put up of your volumes, right? So now let's see how to do. First of all, we have to hit the blk id, right? So my dear friend, every volume will have a unique id. So you can mount of your volumes in the fstf with name, and you can also mount with the UUID. So it's recommended in the production environment when you are doing the permanent mounting. So always you have to mount of your volume with UUID. So what to do? You have to copy this UUID value. Copy it. Let me open a different tab. Again, let me open a vim.c fstf right? So we have to put up of your, remove this double quote, go to the insert, and now with a folder, all right, this is SDV5 is mounted with, now you can verify, df-h mounted with a digital and a 6 mounted with Uniaction. Your mount point, that is digital. Please don't make any typo error, otherwise you will get some error, your machine will not up. Assign the file system. The file system of this, that is ext4, right? ext4 defaults, right? 00. Again same, I'm going to mount with this, copy it, slash Uniaction, right? Now at this time we have a file system XFS, right? Defaults, okay. So friends, when you have done some changes inside the 8CFS step, so we have to run the command systemctl daemon reload, right? And you have to hit the command mount -a, that means mount each and everything. When you have to do the reboot, right, everything will be up automatically. Now this time your volume will not detach. Yes, it's going to restart. Press the enter. Now machine is up. Let me do the login. That means when your machine successfully up, that means everything is working perfectly. Don't take tension. Otherwise, you will get the control D error. That means something is trouble with your HCFS file or your system will not up. Okay. Now let me check now the mount point. Yes. Uniaction is available. Digital is also available. CD Uniaction. Do the ln. Your files are available. You can create another file. Cat sanjay.txt. Sorry, we have to put the redirect symbol. Hello all. Stay safe. Control D. Now you can see file is available. This one. You can read the content. sanjay.txt. Yeah, data is available. Right. So now technically we call it permanent mounting. Right. So now see the another thing. In any case, you want to delete the partition, right? Or you want to recreate the partition. How to do? So my dear friend, first of all, when you are going to do these things, so what to do? Open the vim.c file. right? So make sure which volume you are going to delete. So what to do? You can delete these lines, or you can put up the comment in front of this line. What is the mean of the comment? That means when kernel is going to restart, so when kernel is going to read of this file, that means he will not read of this line. That means this line is not available. This is the mean of the comment. This is my SDB file which is mounted with digital, right? So WQ. So you have done some changes with this systemctl daemon reload. Then you mount, right? Which one? Digital. Correct? Same thing. I am again going to delete another partition. For example, I want to delete also this one. Go to the insert, comment this, WQ, save and quit, system daemon reload, right? And now again, you mount of the Unikaksha. Perfect. Then follow same thing, fdisk -l. We want to delete of these partitions, right? So how to delete? Control L, fdisk /dev sdb, right? I don't know how to delete. Use this flag. That means delete the partition. Press D, right? Define the partition number, right? 6. Okay. Now you can see partition successfully deleted. So when you are going to delete the partition, so always work in the descending order. Okay, it's a showing unknown command. Sorry, actually we have to assign that delete. Then we have to assign the partition number. Then write the partition table. Okay. Now fdisk -l. We don't have any kind of partition. When everything is successfully working, you have to do the reboot. So make sure when you are going to deleting the partition, so always take the backup of your data, right? So now my machine is up. Please wait. Yeah. Now you can see. fdisk -l. There is no partition on my another disk. So like this, my dear friend, you can create the partition, you can assign the file system, you can mount off your partition, you can delete the partition. So this is the way. So basically we work like that in the production environment. So this is the idea behind of this. So thank you so much. Stay safe, stay healthy.